Oi, Walshy, guess what?
What, Liam?
Bazinga. Hey, every faggot out there, welcome back to episode
14.
blank of the 13 of the Coinflip podcast. I'm your host, Zuckerbot. Joining us as usual today, we have the extremely talented Mr. W. Mr. W, how are you?
Yeah, not bad, guys.
And also, again, we have the one and only Leadbrain. Leadbrain, what's going on?
That intro was so fucking bad. I hope you feel bad.
I mean, I don't really feel bad. I feel more like just, you know, my choices really impact the quality of the podcast in general, and I feel like what I just did was quite funny, but unfunny at the same time. You know, the answer's yes and no. It's black and white, it's really uptight, whatever. Point is, fuck you. So, there's this topic I want to talk about today, that being fake news.
Fake nudes? Fake nudes.
Oh, fake nudes. They're everywhere on Snapchat, and I don't even
are.
use Snapchat.
Not even bad.
Cancer. So, what even is fake news? Let me tell you what fake news is. Fake news is something I'm about to tell you, and what it is I'm about to tell you. Fake news is like, well, I'm going to say it. Fake news is basically like news.
You are fake news.
But it's
you
fake.
Are fake news.
What are you even going on?
So you'll hear people like, I guess, Trump and people in general just saying like,
President Cyrus?
yeah, that guy.
Cyrus?
Just saying
Cyrus?
like, oi, it's
Cyrus?
fake news. Everybody's reporting on me. Falsely. Everything's fake. It's all fake news. You're all fake. Shut up. You don't know me. I'm Trump. I'm the best. You know all that shit. But what fake news is like, people sort of going with anything, making situations appear like larger and more sort of lively than they actually are. People just going off, really. People just like fucking making up lies, really, and saying, hey, he's definitely doing this, or Trump's definitely putting this tax in place, and he's definitely going to gas all Mexicans or some shit. But no, that
Whoa.
so
Okay,
in a way, it's kind of like, hey, that your news is fake, but it's also kind of like, is it fake though? How true is it? They've maybe distorted the truth a bit, but that doesn't mean everything they're saying is invalid. But a lot of these news articles, they know if they talk shit about Trump, that gives them more clicks instantly. And if you shove in stupid buzzwords in the title of your article, like racist, bigot, and all that shit, you're going to get a few more clicks easy. But, you know. So what do you think about fake news?
You are fake news.
Why am I fake news?
You are fake news.
Why?
You are fake news.
No, but fake news in general is just kind of like... I guess it's easier to
You
warp...
are fake.
Shut up. It's easy to warp to, like, your sort of
Because
expectations.
the thing is with fake news is at any point you can just say, oh, that's fake. Like,
That's fake?
Yeah, what about that meme you sent around to me last night? Holy shit.
Oh, yeah, that was a great
That
meme.
was a good meme.
So-
but the thing is...
We'll get on to... You
Give
can't
me the
cuck...
reason-
Oi, you can't cuck the Zuck. We'll get on to him later.
Yeah, but no, what I was saying is, I won't go into the great detail yet, but however, saying that is, just because one person says it's fake, or like general consensus it could be fake, but there's also the chance it's like, wait, what if it's real?
What if it's real?
What if?
I don't know.
I feel
What
like
if?
it's kind of like...
It's like, even though there's that slim chance, it's still like, yeah, but what if?
But what if?
What if?
There's
What if?
always that
What
chance,
if?
Liam.
Yeah, but that's like, it's easy to sort of warp a story into your sort of agenda, just because not only does it get people like more clicks, and as long as they shove stuff like racist in the title, fake news is just kind of lying, or sort of distorting the truth to an extent, where basically it warps the actual meaning of the article or video in general.
Until they make it true.
To just be pandering. But is it truth though? It's easy to lie and sort of tell like knowing mistruths in an article, like a lot of the shit that's out there, like by Polygon and BuzzFeed and all this kind of
I was
stuff.
gonna say,
BuzzFeed.
I was gonna say there was this one news article that came up recently. It was like 2 weeks back, and the headline of the article was, "Why you should give cuckoldry a go."
Cuckold. That's like you know what cuckoldry is? It's like watching your wife get fucked by someone else, and you're just getting off to like, oh yeah, fuck. That's what being a cuck is.
I was gonna say it can apply to both genders. Like both
Wow.
genders could be cucked.
But
Yeah, they
what?
could.
Cucked by curiosity, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, it's kind of like, wait, why do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Why do you want to...
It's like giving consent to cheating.
We're meant to be talking
Yeah.
about fake news, not giving consent to cheaters or whatever. Now, cheating. Sorry.
I know.
Cheats?
But I'm just saying, is that fake news?
Do you have to?
Is it fake news?
Do you have to give consent when you fuck a cheater? Literally, the animal, the cheater.
Actually, in the state of Florida, it is illegal to have sex with a porcupine.
Just a porcupine. Like you can't have sex with an ant or an anteater.
It's illegal to have sex with a porcupine.
What about a dog? Not that I
Why
want
a
to.
porcupine?
I don't know.
What?
Where do you even come up with these facts?
Oh, it's not like fucking.
No, wait, I'll give you one now. In the state of Michigan, it is illegal for a single woman to go skydiving on Sunday.
Why?
On Sunday.
Specifically that.
That's so
It's
specific.
worded that way.
Well, that's so specific, though.
Why can't you just like show up and say that I'm in a relationship? Let me skydive, bitch.
You're like, oh, where's your proof? Where's your boyfriend? Why aren't you cuckolding him right now? Or some shit like that. But anyway, we were talking about fake news. Fake news is like an article putting out, hey, iDubbbz is racist because he said nigger in one of his videos. No, completely untrue and everything.
Doesn't IDubbbz say it like it's one of his default words?
Yeah, he calls his subscribers nigger faggots, and I'm a nigger faggot, so, you know, I can get down with his content or whatever. But doesn't it piss you off that, like,
Listen here, cuck.
you're a cock,
You're a
cuck.
cuck.
Cocked! Cucks! We're being, what's the opposite of Antifa? We're talking about it, like, remember they were screaming cocks or something in something you watched? Like, oh, you cocks, you're fascist!
Romper stomper.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
cocks, you're
Romper
cocks,
stomper, yeah.
fascist, bigot, you know, all that shit. The return of Daffy Cuck. Anyway.
I was gonna say,
Daffy Cuck.
Yeah.
But this whole
Should
fake...
be your new name for the podcast.
Well, yours should be, a fucking short ass. Rumple short cock, shut up. Well, anyway, it's kind of like fake news.
You're bullying me.
I guess we just won't talk about fake news because we're all fake and we're not
Yeah.
news.
This whole
Yeah,
podcast
that's
is fake, man.
Well, I
Everything
mean,
is
This
delusional.
podcast is a fake news.
we should be getting more views, so I'm going to say that, so our views probably fake.
Yeah, I know. We got to
Fake
beat
views.
IGN. We got to beat
You
IGN.
can't cock the Zuck. You just said the unholy name, so don't ever repeat it again on this podcast.
What, IGN?
Ah, my ears, fuck.
The
anyway.
unholy IGN.
What are we talking about how you can't cuck the Zuck? Mark Zuckerberg, or Zark Muckerberg, or Mark Zuckerberg.
Do these humans, they like water?
Now, Mark Zuckerberg, there's a theory going around that he's actually a robot.
Or an alien?
So-
or like,
Yeah.
Or a fucking bender from Futurama. Or a bender in general, because he's a fag. But we're going to be talking about Mark Zuckerberg in a minute about that specific theory about him being a robot, because they have an interesting theory about him being a robot. But first, he just went before US Congress. The situation was kind of like... What was it? Mark Zuckerberg was like called upon by some congressman who's like, hey, we want to find out how Facebook makes all its money and shit. And he just used the
what's happening
generic...
was,
yeah.
it was revealed that Facebook was gathering data on a huge
Yes, data,
level.
that's it.
And as a result, like, because
Yeah.
Facebook had all this information about people that people didn't want Facebook to know.
And that's true.
But at the same time, I did find it funny because
When you made it.
the US government has done a far worse invasion of privacy than Facebook has.
Yeah.
With Facebook, it requires us to consent to the use of Facebook.
No, I would consider
Whereas
it to be
That
fake,
and
Really?
also when we sign up to Facebook,
Facebook,
we agree to the terms and
agree
to
conditions, and we
agree
also
to what-
personally put in our details.
Yeah, we do
Therefore,
it
if they
ourselves.
have their
Yeah,
our
so you put in...
details,
Yeah,
because
but
we're the ones who wrote it in
but
there.
the thing about that,
Whereas-
that's all like basic details, like what's your gender, what's your name, are you a cuckold, are you not, what date were you born, what's this, you know, that sort of shit.
Whereas-
But do you remember when you made a Facebook account, sorry you're interrupting, and you were like, one of our mates came up and you hadn't even started the
I know,
account
it's like,
yet.
what the fuck? It's like, what the fuck?
The data may have been you were from my computer, I can't fucking
Who
remember.
really, like, the thing is, like, there's cookies, people might have already tagged you in all
I
the
have
posts,
no idea how cookies work.
images, Facebook's facial recognition software.
All that shit, yeah.
So many possibilities. But what I was trying to say was the US government's privacy invasion was so much worse than what Facebook
Why is
did.
it? What did they even do?
Okay, so...
Didn't they do something where
Yeah, it was,
every time you like freaking search anything on Google, they can see what you're doing?
Yeah.
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 But the thing
But
about
the thing is,
Zuck...
that was kind of like everyone in the world was affected by that. Not just like the people who use Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, the American government had capabilities of shutting down entire national power grids.
Yeah, but the thing about Mr.
Sorry.
Zuckerbot came before Congress, and then they were like, how do you make all your money? And he basically said, well, you know, we run ads, we do all this stuff, we make money from our data. So he said some bullshit like that. So essentially, he played the advertising excuse. Let me tell you why that doesn't work. You own this multi-million-dollar corporation, Facebook, that's a big
It's a
social media
billion-dollar
site. You have
corporation.
ads everywhere. You have this shitty little Facebook games. People constantly messaging each other. Not only is that gathering data, but it's making money at the same time. So they could essentially flip it and say, hey, our service is free, yet we make money from like the data that we collect and everything. But that's kind of illegal. So they couldn't straight up say that, even though that's technically the truth. Well, I mean, it's not, I guess, but it's
not
pretty
ille-
obvious. It's pretty
not
obvious.
ille- It's for what a business does, because I have to do like a
Yeah, but-
ethics topic in my course, and Facebook is operating within the legal boundaries.
Yeah, but the fucking thing is, like,
Yeah,
I
no,
mean...
it
Whether or not what they're doing is ethical is another question entirely, but they're
But
operating within
legal-
Yeah,
legal
but,
boundaries.
you know,
Yeah.
what they're doing isn't ethnical because, like, if you...
Yeah, but if you go into ethics, it's just like, well, you could be discussing that for hours and you're gonna get nowhere.
You can't be disgusted by,
Well-
like, oh, is Facebook morally right? It's just a social media site. They run ads like everybody else, but I think it's kind of stupid. And I guess...
But the amount of ads that they run...
but even the amount that you see on there, I use AdBlock. I don't know if that impacts it. You have no problem saying
Yeah,
that.
it
Fuck
does.
off.
Yeah.
But like, even without it, like when I go on an incognito tab for reasons you don't need to know about, when I'm on Facebook, it's literally like, does it matter? Like, I mean, I don't think they're making all their money from these few ads that they have popped around everywhere, as annoying as they can get. You can get a lot of notifications saying, hey, this guy invited you to this game, this guy invited you to like this game or this page or whatever, and here's an ad for Candy Crush on Candy Crush, use some more King games, Candy Crush, kill yourselves, you know, that shit. So I don't think they're making their money entirely from ads. I think that that's a bit sort of...
They would also be making information by money through selling users information, and the value of Facebook as well. Because Facebook is a valuable product.
Yeah.
What? How do they make money from the value of their fucking corporation?
Because
It's the same
It's a
with
corporation!
Yeah, but the corporation is valued at
They're
something.
not making their money just because of ads. They're making it because of the data they produce as well. And what do I mean by that? How do you make money off data? Well, once you sort of gather people's like personal information, you can round that off, recommend them more ads, use them on certain sites to recommend them for certain sites or whatever. That's what makes them money. The fact that they're recommending, they can get information out to certain retailers, and that is illegal. But they're doing it, and he used the excuse, we make it entirely from ads.
It's not.
So
it's
the Zuck,
not illegal.
it's called sponsoring.
Yeah, but the Zuck has literally said that to Congress. He didn't say we were sponsoring. He just said, Senator, we run ads. And he said it while looking like a fucking robot, might I add.
Do these humans like water? Then I will drink the water.
Have you seen the meme where it's like...
So lit. It's a lit meme.
Oh, God.
Oh, the memes.
And the thing about the Zuck is that the Zuck is actually quite a unique specimen in the fact that he will not only run this massive multi-million-dollar corporation, Facebook, with sort of limited ad revenue, and then claim that they're making it entirely off that, when their profits are fucking massive. If you've seen their net worth or whatever, Facebook is making a lot more than the Zuck leads on. But the Zuck, why is sort of a unique specimen, is because he can go before Congress and, in my opinion, slightly bullshit them to a degree where it's not illegal, but as you said, it's not ethically right.
It's not. Yeah.
Because...
But the thing is, like, when you get into the ethics of things, you could be going on.
This
and
is
on.
where the podcast becomes boring.
Yeah.
But let's talk about why he's a robot. But no, you actually finish what you were saying.
Yeah, but just to wrap up the ethics thing, it's just like you've got the legal thing, which is like can be clear cut, whereas ethics it gets grey. It's just like, well, what? Well, they're a business. They've got to make money.
Yeah, but the thing
Yeah.
about them...
We all agree to use their service. Therefore, when we agree to use their product, we're agreeing for them to sell our
I don't even
product.
like Facebook that much. I use it quite a bit every day, but that's only
I
because, like...
primarily just use the messaging
messages
feature.
just for me.
Messaging
I'm not
feature.
sharing posts saying, hey, like this fucking picture of me eating a hot dog at a fucking North Korean spy dictator camp or some shit. I am literally being like, hey, I use this service every day. I don't give a fuck about all this shit that people send me, like 50 million people shoving like cringe compilations or an article about feminism or some gay shit. But technically that's not Facebook's doing, it's the people who use it. And I'm fine with that. It's just the thing that I'm not big into Facebook. I'll use the messenger sort of thing. I'm not a user on it. I'm not going to post. I post like a picture a year probably at this point.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. It's just sort of a casual thing that I do. Whatever. Doesn't affect me. I don't care. But the thing about it is that you can't go before Congress and sort of say, hey, you make it entirely off ads. Well, that's very fucking clearly not
Well,
the
and the
case.
thing is-
And the thing is, like, the Zuck has sort
That's
of done...
true, yeah.
The Zuck has sort of been like, fucking, what was I going to say? Yeah, the Zuck has just been like, hey, we make money off ad space. We have more limited sort of revenue for ad space. We make this amount. We make X amount of money a year. This is our net worth. We're showing you pretty much everything we've got. We're revealing everything. So why am I here in Congress today, Senator? That's kind of bullshit because he's here from the data that's been proven by a lot of people to have sort of collected over this amount of time. So in essence, Facebook has sort of, I guess, shot themselves in the foot. The Zuck in general has shot himself in the foot because Zuckerbot has been like, hey, look at all our net worth. I'm going to post it on all my... So he posted a lot of shit on his
he's like the
accounts.
fourth richest man in the world.
Yeah, he's fucking...
Yeah,
he's
he
up there.
is.
He's like almost Bill Gates level. Carlos... What's that
he's
fat
the
Mexican's name?
Carlos Slim.
Carl-
Like he's the youngest rich man in the
Yeah, he's like
Who is?
33. He's
Zuckerbot.
Zuckerbot.
Oh.
He
You
is
can't-
really well
Yeah, the
known.
Zuck, mate. Oh, he's a
Yeah.
fucking legend. Would you fuck the Zuck for its hot dog?
No.
1 million hot dogs?
No.
Would you fuck the Zuck for $1 million?
Would you?
Yes, $1 million. Fuck yes. Would you cuck the Zuck for $1 million?
Yes.
So you get to fuck his wife while he watches and masturbates.
No.
Yeah, because you can't cuck the Zuck. He would kill you. He'd kill all of us who tried to fuck his wife. The Zuck is quite a handsome fellow.
Zuck is a
No
lip
homo.
boy. Zuck is a lip boy.
Oh, that's what we're going to call the episode. You can't cuck the Zuck. That's a good name.
Can't cut the Zuck.
That's
With
actually a
him
pretty
drink-
good name.
With him drinking water.
Humans like it. I will like it then. Have you seen the meme where it's like, because there's this theory that he's a robot because he does such like unnatural things and he's very sort of quirky and sort of unnatural when he's talking, when he's moving around and stuff. Have you seen the one where he's walking his dog and his legs are like bent forward?
And that's
Fucking
when
microphone.
you drop the mic.
Shut up.
That's when you
Drop the mic.
You
drop
can't.
the mic.
The reason that the Zuck is so hard to cuck is because he's a robot. You can't cuck a robot. Now here's the thing: like the Zuck is kind of interesting in the fact that
Who said you can't cuck a robot?
what are you gonna fuck his computer?
You never know.
Doesn't make too
Some
much
chick
sense.
might find it interesting to have a relationship with a freaking computer.
But then
You never
she's
know.
got like a metal cock inside her.
And
She's being fucked by the Zuck, who is a bit of a cuck. You can't do that. Now the Zuck is kind of like. Have you seen the meme where it's like, he's like, Senator, we run ads and it has a little bar that says smile and he turns up the smile dial and it's like, his smile just grows over time. He's so weird and unnatural.
Mark
Have you seen his eyes when he
Mark
was in that?
Zuckerberg on his charging
Oh,
station.
fuck. Have you seen where he's like, that really autistic fucking commercial, some shit where he's like, new face filters on Instagram. Good job, team. Dolan Dark's been making some really fucking good memes about Mark Zuckerberg lately.
good.
As much shit as I give Dolan Dark, he's a fucking legend.
I was gonna say, so what? So at the start of the year we had Ugandan Knuckles.
Suggesting, oh, yeah, remember how
then
we
we
used to
had-
do those, like,
Yeah,
years-
like yearly
of the meme?
month meme of the
yeah,
month.
yeah.
and-
April's
Meme
just
of
gonna
the
be
month.
like the Zuck drinking water or some shit.
Yeah.
The Zuck.
Zuckerberg is drinking water.
Yeah.
And
Pretty
then
good.
before that we had the Despicable Meme one.
Oh, yeah,
that's
this-
that's
this
March.
Yeah.
February's Ugandan Knuckles was January.
Where's my spaghetti?
Fucking yes. We're
Yeah.
making a meme chart slowly.
No,
Hope that-
it's
Go-
where's
oh,
my
sorry.
spaghetti?
Where's my spaghetti?
do you reckon the Zuck can do something
Where's
to
my
become?
spaghetti?
Shut up. The meme of next month, like the Zuck can be meme 2 years in a row. Like Zuckerbot was this month's meme. Next month's meme will be like Zuckerberg fucking his wife or something. Well, you can't cuck the Zuck essentially. But I mean, do you think he's a robot? Because he's really comes off as really unnatural and sort of weird and all this shit that he does. You know.
What isn't unnatural in this
Well,
modern world?
yeah. Gabba. He's just kind of like, hey, I'm Mark Zuckerberg. I am human. I will do things that humans like. Humans will walk their dogs,
Do
and I shall walk
humans
my
like
dogs.
bread? Then I too will like bread.
He's like,
I too will like bread.
humans like to be cucked, then I shall cuck. Fuck someone's wife. Have you seen? There was the last year's South Park episode where Mark Zuckerberg comes to town and he just talks in that robotic voice and he's like, "Haha, you try and block me," and all that shit. It's very
You
different.
can't block the Zuck.
Yeah, you can't block the Zuck or anything. Like, if you try to block Mark Zuckerberg on Facebook, it's like, haha, you actually can't block him, fuck you. And then, I don't know, your account gets deleted.
Can't get deleted.
Sound good.
I really want him one day to just be like, sorry humans, my time has come, and he just grows wings and flies away to a different planet. And the legend of the Zuck lives on.
Or freaking just gets his rocket boosters.
Yeah.
It starts like freaking.
What was I going to say? Yeah. Guess what's coming out soon? Infinity Scan.
Oh god, no.
Infinity
The
Scan.
purple cuck is coming.
Purple Homer Simpson, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about the Infinity War?
I already did a whole episode on it where I debated Aaron, where I said, yes, it's shit. I definitely won that debate because he's an idiot Marvel fanboy.
I
But
didn't know it's gonna be shit though. It's not even
everything
out yet.
It's
in the
not
trailer
out.
is
It's
like...
not even out yet.
Everything the trailer's pointing to is like, hey, this looks generic, this looks boring, not something I'd enjoy. Bombastic movie, hey, let's shove in more superheroes, let's have a fun battle, let's get cucked, you know, all that shit. But we've already talked about Infinity War a lot, so I'm just saying I'm not looking forward to it, no expectations really. And it's going to be disappointing, it's probably going to make a ton of money, I don't give a fuck, Marvel's gay.
Wow.
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 What? How's that well?
Fuck off. Well then.
Oh well.
Well,
But it's kind of like, you know, what are some good movies that are coming out this year besides... was a Solo, a Star Wars story, and
I don't know.
Actually-
I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't know,
I'll watch it.
yeah.
I'm not happy that that movie exists, you know?
Well, how so? What do you
We'll
mean?
talk about it another time, but I'm just going to sum up and say, cash grab. Ugh.
You know they're making Star Wars movies.
Yeah, I don't think they should be. I'm not saying that's
20
right.
years.
40 years.
40.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, we're not running this into the ground.
How are they going to make 40 new Star Wars
A
movies?
year.
We'll talk about this another time,
Huh?
but yes,
There's
essentially.
going to be 40 years of Star Wars with a new Star Wars movie
That's so
every...
gay!
No, I know. That's what I was saying. How are they going to make 40 more Star Wars movies?
I
Maybe
don't
they'll
know,
get-
So far they're going pretty well.
Maybe they'll get Zuckerbot to
What
fund
they've
them.
got 4.
They've got 4 of 40 so
Fucking
far, so
hell.
they have another 36 to go.
36 to go. I'm pretty sure when they get to 30, they're going to be just repeating themselves.
Copyright strike.
Wait, they can't copyright it because it is it's owned
I
by
was
them,
seeing
so they
shit
really-
on the water. That was smoke on the water, so shut up. So here's the thing. Have you watched American Gods?
No, I haven't.
Why haven't you watched American Gods?
It's a lit show.
I don't know. Why haven't I, Liam?
Because it's a good series and you're missing out.
Yeah, man, you missed
And
out.
season 2 is going to begin this year. It's a great show.
I might give it a watch.
Have you tried watching Lucifer at least?
I watched the first episode.
Yeah, we were all drunk, so that doesn't count.
First episode.
Well then.
You fell asleep like halfway through, I remember.
No, it was at the
You were
end.
asleep. We were at mine drinking and like, hey, let's watch. I'll show you Lucifer, Walshy, and you just fucking fall asleep like a normie.
Well, yeah, everyone else was asleep at that point.
Yeah, but everybody else is a cuck.
Oh my god.
Dude, you fell asleep first, and then
No, I fucking didn't. That was
you
Aaron.
did, then you woke up.
Aaron fell asleep first, and then
Oh, someone.
you fell asleep while we were watching fucking Lucifer. Then we watched Bad Education, and you're like, oh, hey, what's this?
Oh,
And then you wake up.
Bad Education was great.
Yeah, as I said, British comedy
And that's
really
how
good.
quiet...
That was funny, yeah.
That's how quiet Anne Frank and her family were to avoid capture.
But boom! Oh, looks like we just got racist strike because apparently we're all racists. Anyway, another topic I wanted to talk about. Have you heard the controversy surrounding Nostalgia Critic? Because I actually figured out what it
Oh,
was.
yeah, what was it? Like, I know of it. What's going on?
Well, apparently, and this is going to sound really weird, he's getting criticised because a few people who used to work for Channel Awesome have come out and basically said, hey, he's treating us badly and he's not paying us enough and shit, or Channel Awesome isn't mainly owned by Nostalgia Critic, it's owned by a bunch of other people. But they're mad because Nostalgia Critic gets a lot of the pay, gets a lot of the credit and everything. Do you think that's flawed? Because I think that's kind of flawed criticism, because Nostalgia Critic is the most
Right.
popular
Okay.
out of everyone who's on Channel
Yeah.
Awesome, so he should get paid the most. He's the biggest star on there. I don't even think he's that great
Wait,
anymore.
so the logic...
Is
Someone
Okay.
came out, and I don't really like Gamer
So-
from Mars because I think he's just boring, a bit of a drone sometimes. But
So,
he made a really good point. He's like, hey, these people who work for Channel Awesome or used to work for Channel Awesome have come out
Yeah.
and said Nostalgia Critic's getting paid more than us, and he's getting all the recognition. But technically, that makes sense because Nostalgia Critic is the most popular out of all of them, and he makes the most money, the most content, and everything. So I don't see what the complaint is. It's just like the whole, hey, equal pay argument. Why is this man getting paid more than
I'm
me?
just
It's
trying
not
to
because
make-
he's in a manager position or anything.
Hang on, I'm just trying to
yeah,
make...
true.
So,
But-
when we mean people aren't getting paid what they are, do you mean
So
like...
a few
What,
employees,
like, do you mean like, say if you were a producer,
yeah,
you're not getting paid fairly?
more than
So
a
no-
director.
yeah.
That's a stupid argument, I know. Like,
Well-
hey, I'm only a producer. Why aren't I getting paid as much as the director?
Because
Because the
dir-
guy's
yeah,
fucking
the
directing.
The director's got a higher level.
That's
than
an
the
example,
producer.
but there were two. I think
Yeah.
two, maybe one person who came out from Channel Awesome and said, "I'm unhappy because Nostalgia Critic Douglas Walker is getting more money and recognition than us, and he's getting
Well,
all the
he
love and
is,
attention."
he is, because
Yeah, but
he's doing-
he's the face of Channel Awesome at this point. His Nostalgia Critic videos rack up the most views, make the most money.
I personally
Yeah, they
don't
do.
like his
Oh.
stuff.
I don't like his stuff anymore because, as I said, his videos got too reliant on
What-
skits and sort of funny.
One thing I
Yeah,
don't-
true.
And I don't even think they're funny, to be honest, but like skits
One
like
thing
that.
is the one thing I don't like is I don't like those retro kind of based channels.
Yeah. Hey, I'm fine with their existence. It's just
Like,
I'm not
they-
going out of my
they've
way
got
to watch
good
them.
personalities,
Yeah,
that's the
it.
problem.
Yeah,
They've got
alright,
good
alright.
person-
They have good skits, they have good jokes lined up and everything, but I don't find the skits entertaining. It's like when Angry Joe, I don't
Yeah.
personally like his content as much as you guys like it, but like,
It's still funny.
he usually opens
It's
up his
funny.
video with pretty mediocre skits. Sometimes they're a bit of a
Yeah.
chuckle, but it's just kind of something that you can skip at the end of the day because it's only at the beginning
Yeah.
of the video. He'll sprinkle little bits of skits throughout it, but if
I just the problem.
it's a fucking you're fighting an uphill battle with doing skits in like a review or something. I feel like because you have to do it so perfectly and so timelessly and make sure it actually relates to the video and isn't just bullshit. So with the whole thing of Angry Joe and Nostalgia Critic, is their content good? At the end of the day, I'm gonna say Nostalgia Critic is like a 6 out of 10 for me, and Angry Joe is more of a 7. Angry Joe has more of a personality, I feel. Nostalgia Critic, he's okay. He reviews bad shit, so does Angry Joe, but he reviews good shit as well. So I find them good YouTubers. Just not my cup of tea anymore. Maybe I once really liked them, but I find it's the whole controversy of nostalgia critic.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this guy's getting more recognition than me. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you're not
yeah,
the
that's
face
it.
of you're not the face of Channel Awesome. What if a Trump? This is gonna sound stupid. What if a Trump person who works at Trump hotels like, hey, the actual president is getting paid more than me because he's in a higher position.
Yeah.
No, but I just want to know what they mean by that. If we're talking like,
Oh, I'll send you a link to the article. I probably should have done more research in
Yeah,
fairness, but it's just they're complaining. They have really stupid complaints about
pay
hey.
gets finicky. It's like it's
Well,
obvious.
it's easy. This guy's only a background actor or whatever, or
Yeah.
he makes top
Yeah.
content that doesn't get
Yeah,
as
but
much views. But Nostalgia Critic is the face of the entire channel. Awesome. He makes the most views and money. He should get all the recognition. That's fair enough. And he does.
I mean,
link-
yeah, it's fair.
And even though he does, he's still nice enough to like link their channels and their Twitter in the description. So these people's criticisms and I guess complaints about him are kind of invalid. So in my opinion, they kind of lost all credibility to start with by making a stupid argument like that. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
he does credit them to his videos.
Yeah.
so-
He does give
And
them
you know what? He
attention.
doesn't even have to. He just does. Well, it's kind of common sense and common courtesy, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But still,
But
Yeah, still you don't have to, but it's kind of
when it comes to pay, at least it's kind of obvious. Like going, all right, if you're two people, they've got the same qualifications, same years of experience, and they're
Yeah.
working in the exact same job. Yes, they should be paid the same.
well, if they're in the same
Obvious.
position, if one of them's a
If they're
manager
in
and
the
one of
same-
them's a
yeah,
casual
if they're-
employee,
If they are the exact same across the board, then yes, they
Yes,
should
they'll
be
be
getting
getting
paid the
paid
same.
the
I'm not complaining because someone at my work is a manager and is getting paid more than me. They've
Yeah,
been there for
obviously.
years and they're a manager. They
Obviously.
do more work. They're in a higher position. I'm fine with
Obviously,
that.
yeah.
But these people are kind of like, hey, Doug Walker is making more than me and he shouldn't. Well, yes, he shouldn't. He's in a higher position. So I'm going to send you a link to the
Well,
article.
it really depends on what is Doug doing that requires him to be paid more than you?
Well, alright,
'Cause,
he's,
like, when
he's
you
the
go-
face of
that's
Channel
true.
Awesome. He's the face behind all the content. He edits all his content.
Does he edit himself?
No,
or does he
I
pay
don't
an
think he
editor?
does actually. I'm sure he has an editor, but he pays the editor probably
Yeah.
enough. So it's not an editor coming out and saying it. It's maybe, I think, an actor from one of his videos or someone who makes different content on Channel Awesome coming out and saying that. And I think they've actually left Channel Awesome, so not only does that criticism seem kind of flawed, what is the point? You're complaining that he's getting paid more than you, yet he is the face, the sort of the big guy behind the Channel Awesome. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah, but that's the when you get into pay stuff, it gets so finicky.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because it's just like certain jobs are valued more than others.
that's true.
Oh fuck yeah! But like, it's kind of weird that that's their criticism. He's more
But I mean,
popular
yeah,
than me.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, he makes content. What if these people get a few views and don't upload often? Obviously, you're gonna expect someone as big as Channel Awesome, who personally I'm not really the biggest fan of, but he's fine. He's a good serviceable YouTube channel who gets paid more. He's meant to because he does this stuff
Yeah.
that you don't. He makes, I guess, more high quality content. He has a bigger budget. He uploads a bit more frequently.
Yeah.
So he gets more views. So why are you complaining? It's
yeah,
like coming
yeah,
out.
it's,
It's like
it's fair enough that
one
he's
of my
getting
least
paid more,
favorite
yeah.
fucking actors in the world, TJ Miller. I fucking hate that guy. Coming out and saying, "Hey, why does Seth Rogen get paid more than me? Why is he more famous than me? I'm funny." TJ Miller is the least talented man in the world.
I have no idea who TJ Miller
You know,
is.
TJ
I
Miller's
have
like-
no clue who this
Yeah.
guy
Well,
is. either, but-
I know who Seth Rogen
Have
is.
you seen Deadpool? You know
Yes.
Deadpool's
Yeah.
friend who's like the barkeep and
Oh, him?
Oh,
TJ
him.
Miller. Yeah.
Oh, he's lit. He's
No,
a good
no,
comedian.
I
He's
hate
good.
He's lit, yeah.
Like, he's in Silicon Valley. He's great.
His comedy.
I didn't know his name. But
His
now I know
his
him.
comedy.
Yeah,
His
I
comedy
love his
is
stuff.
fine. It's fine. But TJ Miller, there's been articles and shit saying he's actually really hard to work with. He'll rock up and be very sort of entitled when he's filming something. He'll expect coffee and all this shit immediately, and he'll be arrogant. He wouldn't have read the script. He's hard to work with apparently. Not only that, he complains like, "Oh, Seth Rogen's a meanie. I'm sad because he's funny and I'm not." That's all TJ Miller is, just crap Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
And crap Seth
I
Rogen's
mean,
kind of crap
there's a
Seth Rogen.
difference between, like, if someone's painful to work with and
Yeah,
you don't want
Yeah,
to
but if
work
they're an-
with
like
them,
an
that's
arrogant-
different.
That,
like
yeah,
a-
it's different.
They're an arrogant actor.
Yeah,
or
but
just
if,
being a
like,
cunt
if
in
someone's
general.
being an
There's a
arrogant
difference
douche
between-
at their job,
Yeah.
it means, and you just don't want to work with them, therefore, as a result, they're going to be making less money.
Well, yeah, but like it's
Yeah.
not really. He wasn't arguing like the nostalgia critic thing or it was a pay thing. He was arguing more of like, hey, why aren't I getting as much credit or why aren't I as popular as these guys?
Because you're
Because
a
these
dick.
guys are older. They've been doing film longer than you. They actually have somewhat more funny jokes, and you're an arrogant actor to work with. These people are not. It's as simple as that.
But also, they've also been in a lot more things than here, so they have more
Yeah.
popularity. So
Also-
it comes down to like what the people want rather than
Also,
oh,
TJ
you
Miller's
can't just be like oh yeah, I make the same kind of stuff as this guy, but this guy is more popular than me. Why is that?
Also, TJ Miller's just a cunt in general. Like, literally, when the Emoji Movie was coming out, he was going off and saying everybody's sexist because they hate the movie. Oh, there was some gay feminist plot in the Emoji Movie. Apparently, I'm not watching that.
I thought it was like from what I watched of it, my brain just died.
You watched it?
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy drinking and being drunk.
Dude, I don't even know who okayed that movie. I just wanted to.
It just looks gay, man.
Oh, what
and it's gonna be a product of the time.
Like, I didn't even freaking ever watch that movie. I don't plan
the
on
whole
it.
plot of the movie revolves around some kid trying to send him
not
emoji
talk about the fucking Emoji
to
Movie
some girl
right now on the podcast?
That's it.
A guy wants to send an emoji.
Can we not
to
talk about the Emoji Movie because it's gay? And I hate it, and everyone should die if they talk about it.
Oh, what a plot! I would have said this freaking girl an emoji. What are you gonna do about it?
No, it's some gay shit. I don't know. We don't need to get into it. But the point is, TJ Miller's a dick. What were we even talking about before? Douglas Walker, Mark Zuckerbot, all that shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark Zuckerberg should try acting. I reckon he'd be alright.
These human actors, they like water.
Then I shall drink
I
water.
like
Then I shall like water.
These people like Tarantino movies. Then I shall like Tarantino
Then
movies.
I too will like Tarantino movies. These people like Tarantino actors, then I shall be a Tarantino actor.
These people hate...
Holy crap, imagine him in a Tarantino movie.
Terrible.
That would be
He'd be
funny.
so out of place. Fucking hell.
It'd be hilarious.
Just imagine the hateful eight, and it's like, who poisoned the coffee? It wasn't me, sir! And he like, drinks water.
He drinks the coffee instead.
Yeah, he drinks the coffee
And he
instead of,
dies.
who poisoned John Rook's coffee? No one. Drinks it and dies. Fucking hell. He'd be shit at acting. What am I saying?
Yeah.
That would make
Anyway.
him so good though, because he'd get
Would
laughed
it?
at.
Would it?
He would just get laughed at.
I feel like it'd be sort of a so bad it's good category where it's just kind of not serviceable at all.
Where they're like that bad that they're funny.
Yes. No. No, it's like Amy Schumer. I don't know. Mark Zuckerbot's like, people hate Amy Schumer, then I shall hate Amy Schumer. Oh, fascist bigot, and she scream some bullshit. She's a terrible comedian, by the way.
Who is?
Amy fucking Trauma.
Oh, I don't know who that is,
Trauma.
but...
Every time you watch one of her comedic pieces, someone breaks into your house and gives you blunt force trauma.
I've probably talked about this before, but the thing about Amy Seahorse, Seahorse or whatever, is that she's kind of pathetic in the way that she'll be like, hey, you don't get my joke, that makes you a sexist, or everybody's alt-right. That's the excuse she uses. She always labels people alt-right. I don't think she even knows what it means, to be honest.
All right.
Alt-right.
Alt-right.
And honestly, I don't even know what it means. I think it's... No, it's like conservatives, but they meme a lot. I don't get it.
No, it's because you've got like on the spectrum, you've got the right, and then you've got the alt right, and then you've got the extreme right.
Yeah, but like you can't just label someone alt-right because they call your comedy shit. That's all she does. People don't like my fucking vagina jokes. Too bad, they're sexist.
Because like, when you go on the extreme of the alt right,
It's just
you're
cancer.
looking at either trolls, literal fascists, or
They're people behind a
Trolls are
keyboard. They're not
great.
exactly a threat.
yeah, but it's like you're looking at trolls, literal fascists, or something else. I can't remember what the other thing was.
But they're just...
But the point is, it's like, how do you know they're like a legit, or are they just trying to...
You don't know. That's the thing.
that's the thing. You could just
You
go,
don't
they're just
know,
doing
yeah,
it to
yeah.
get a rise out of you.
That's the whole point of it in the
That's
first place, really.
Like, when you see actual fascists, like, there's a movie I watched, Imperium, good movie.
Imperium.
Holy crap, the actual fascists in that movie
Is it,
are
though?
terrifying.
Well, yeah, but like...
Terrifying.
It's one of those words
Like,
that's sadly
you've
been warped because it's so misused. As I said
Yeah.
a million
Yeah,
fucking
but
times.
in the movie, they are legit fascists.
Yeah, but apparently fascist now is just like...
Legit fascists.
But apparently fascist
Okay.
now is giving Black Panther a bad review or calling Amy Schumer's comedy shit. Or, I don't know, making an edgy joke.
Why? Who said Black Panther was terrible?
I think Black Panther was terrible. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie.
You kill yourself
Look,
right now.
Look, to be honest with you, is it a bad movie? No.
It's a...
It is a dull movie, however.
The movie is fine. It's serviceable. It's a solid 6 out of 10. You can rewatch it. It's boring. It's an origin story movie. Nothing more.
Yeah.
It's not
Like,
amazing.
It doesn't do anything
There is
different
nothing
with the formula.
special about
It
it.
doesn't do anything different with the formula.
I heard
there
the-
are cool
I-
scenes
I-
with
I-
it, but
I already
do not
knew.
enjoy
Yeah.
the cool scenes.
I already knew, like, the pit fight scenes. That was alright or whatever.
That scene with the big main villain, Killmonger, and Black Panther.
Yeah, but that was...
He gets finally... Why'd you do that?
You know he's gonna survive. Nobody in that fucking theater knew he was gonna fucking...
The final fight was cool. Final fault.
I mean, everybody in the theater knew he was gonna fucking come
Yeah,
back.
we know he's gonna win. So it's.
But here's the thing.
We all know he's gonna win. It's just like, how does he?
How the
get
fuck
to
did this
win?
happen? How did we end up
does he
talking about from
win?
alt-right to Black Panther? Anyway,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Doesn't matter. The point is, with Black Panther, it's kind of like,
It's kinda
hey,
like with the
we've got this
Infinity War.
bullshit.
It's like, we know they're gonna win.
Mm.
How are they gonna win?
Well, why do they
it's true.
always have to win? Don't answer that. It's
It's-
rhetorical. Here's the thing: Black Panther is so just boring. Okay, it's not like I hate how people are like, oh, I can't gush about it enough. It's amazing. It's 10 out of 10. It's not. It's a decent movie. It's a good attempt at an origin story. Nothing more. Nothing special about it. Nothing standalone. It's a fucking Marvel movie. I heard the buzz about it, and I'm like, is this gonna be good? And I say, nah. People probably. I was just like, people probably just overcompensating about it. So I saw it, and I'm like, well, that was crap. I would rather have not watched that, to be honest. What are those? That's the part when I just wanted to walk out the cinema.
What are those?
What are those?
I would
What are
lynch
those?
I would literally lynch anybody who laughed at that joke in the theater. You probably did, you little normie. And here's the thing: Black Panther is like,
Bruh.
shut up.
To be honest, most of the time I was pretty bored watching.
I already knew going in. Hey, even though it's got like the best reviews ever, I know it's just going to be safe and predictable, and it was. I went in. I didn't expect anything from it. People were saying, "Oh, go in. You'll expect this masterpiece. You'll watch something awesome." And I watched a Marvel movie.
And to be honest,
A lifeless, boring, predictable sham of a Marvel movie. And you know what sucks? It's not even that bad. I just thought it was
the
crap.
Actors are great.
They're fine. Yeah.
Some of the scenes are
That
amazing.
camera, it has the fucking.
soundtrack is amazing.
It has too much fucking shaky cam. You know, I hate that shit.
Though it just needed a better plot. It needed a better plot.
Well, I didn't even think the plot was that bad, to be honest. I just thought it was basic as
The
hell.
plot was boring.
It's like, hey, I'm a black guy. I hate the part where he's in the museum and he's like, you're a colonizer. You stole everything here. And then he himself goes like, hey, why did you steal that? I thought it looked cool.
I thought it looked
Hungry
I thought it
hypocrite.
looked cool.
I hate him.
hypocrite.
Yeah, also Killmonger or whatever his name is, Warmonger.
It was one of
Yeah.
the worst.
Boring. So boring.
Yeah,
Marvel,
hey,
why Marvel
like,
has such shit villains?
I gotta say, Death
I
from
don't know,
Ragnarok was a pretty good villain though.
What? That's just fucking glad you wore
Yeah.
a
I
black
still
suit
don't
on.
get how you dislike Ragnarok.
Ragnarok was good.
Alright, fine. I'll tell you this. Ragnarok is a good 7 out of 10 movie. It's not my cup of tea. I can see the quality in it. It's got an okay plot. It's got good characters. It's got good cinematography, which I thought was actually pretty good. The sound mixing, all that stuff, great. I'm a very cinema buzz. I've been getting into
You're
it a
just
lot lately.
really against Marvel.
Shut up. I'm
just say
not.
you don't like Marvel.
I've said a million times. I'm not going into these movies like superhero movies, Star Wars movies, comedies, and documentaries expecting to hate them. I want to see a good movie. Okay. At the end of the day, that's what I want to see. But after I see like all this cynical, sort of safe, predictable shit, no experimentation that Marvel does, I get kind of turned off. But I'm trying to look at these movies fairly and unbiasedly, which for the most part, I'd say I've done rather well. I went into Black Panther with an open mind. I went to Thor Ragnarok with an open mind. Thor Ragnarok trumps Black Panther in almost every fucking way.
Yeah. And
Now,
it does,
the
it
Thor
does.
Ragnarok
I was
has
gonna
a
say-
beautiful fucking like color scheme. The whole like green and red and orange.
Like that
font.
whole like trippy psychedelic.
I like that.
70s
It.
shit.
I will say it tries to be too much like Guardians. Thor Ragnarok, I don't even hate. I just think it's like, in my mind, it's pretty mediocre and it's just a Marvel movie. Like on a scale of 1 to 10.
But one thing that really
yeah.
annoyed me, to follow up Thor Ragnarok with Black Panther, I was like, I'm gonna have a good time watching Black Panther. You know,
I really
it's
wish
like,
you
Black
didn't.
Panther is not as good fun as Ragnarok.
I would.
very true,
Ragnarok's
yeah.
just
Ragnarok is
fun.
at least rewatchable.
Like-
Ragnarok, I could probably get enjoyment out of, but I
You know
don't.
what-
It's not my cup of tea, and I don't understand why you can't feel like that. Okay.
But you know what I mean
I
by
have-
like a fun movie.
Yeah.
Like you just
Thor,
sit down and
Thor
spend time.
Ragnarok is a fun movie. It's fine. I don't think it's great. Okay, I don't think it's even that bad. It's good. Okay, I'll rewatch it and I'll probably like it more, to be honest, because I do that sometimes. Something I originally hate, I'll rewatch it. Like with Spectre, I still don't like it, but I got a bit more enjoyment out of it. It was a bit
Yeah.
more tangible. So I'll rewatch Thor Ragnarok eventually,
I will-
and that's something I rarely fucking
Yeah.
do with Marvel movies. Rewatch them, because in my opinion, there's not many like watchable sort of things
The
about
only
it.
one I rewatched was like Doctor Strange, and that's because of the awesome.
Oh, but Doctor
effects.
Strange is generally a good.
But you watch
But
that
that's
for
genuinely
the
yeah, it's great.
You watch that for the spectacle.
But it's not just that it has an okay plot.
Yeah,
Good.
it's like a generic
No.
origin
I actually found that above all else in 2016, especially. Well, I don't think there was many others, but still, for, Doctor Strange, I will even say had actually sort of a good origin story. Like it was kind of standalone. I didn't really know anything about Doctor Strange, and even if I did, going into it was kind of fun. So I like Doctor Strange, and I'm not hating every Marvel movie.
Yeah,
I enjoyed Spider-Man:
Yeah, yeah.
Homecoming. I enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I
Spider-Man
enjoyed.
Homecoming was a great movie.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, I enjoyed to an extent. fucking Thor Ragnarok even. I enjoyed Doctor Strange. So there are stuff I like about Marvel. I don't hate Marvel, even though what I've said on this podcast may lead people to believe that I hate Marvel. Marvel's fine. But Marvel has a lot of money for a reason. I just don't like things like Black Panther getting a pass just because it's Marvel.
Let me tell you this. I did not like any of the Iron Man movies.
I thought
I thought
Iron Man 1 was good. Actually, Iron Man 1 was great.
I didn't like the Iron Man.
But I watched them a while back. I should probably rewatch.
Yeah, if you rewatch it, I feel like you'd think, because I even think that Iron Man 1 is great. I love Iron Man 1. That's probably my favourite Marvel movie ever.
Really?
Besides Avengers 1. Actually,
yeah, Avengers 1 is good. Avengers 1 is...
I don't know, people give it a lot of shit. I think Avengers 1 is a great movie.
Yeah,
Avengers 2 is dog shit. It's like a sort of a big bombastic action movie that you can easily miss. Avengers 1 I thought was a great movie. Iron Man 1 I think is a great movie. See, I don't hate Marvel. I'm looking at them fairly. I just think a lot of their products now especially are just kind of cynical and businesslike. Like Black Panther. I don't think they should get a pass, as I said a few seconds ago, for just being Marvel, for just being a superhero movie. No, I want them to take criticism on board instead of shoving in more superheroes. It's a big superhero event. We've got to fight the baddie. We've got to get all these...
I'm so looking forward to Crimes of Grindelwald.
I don't care. But like the thing about like stuff with Marvel, Iron Man 1 I feel like is really good. Iron Man 2, boring, non-tangible, 5 out of 10. Iron Man 3, serviceable 6. But I'd say Iron Man 1's like
Iron Man 3 didn't even make sense.
Iron Man 2 didn't make sense. The whole movie was like, hey, let's set up the Avengers. Here's Nick Fury.
Yeah, Iron Man 2 was sort of like Tony Stark dealing with the fact that he's dying, but we know he's going to overcome
and he
it.
does.
Obviously, he's not going to die.
It's him coming to terms with it, though.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, here's a miracle thing that you should probably build. It will fix you. Oh, it does.
And Iron Man 3 was just gay. But like Marvel, I don't hate.
Yeah.
I just find kind of bland, to be honest. But I don't. At the same time, I can see the qualities in a lot of their films. I just think, if being honest and going into cinema, stuff like Thor Ragnarok and Black Panther, I don't get as much enjoyment out of as the general movie-going audience would.
Yeah.
And I have every right to do so, honestly.
Yeah.
Criticism is amazing, and everybody should take it on board. You're a weak, vain little pussy if you don't.
Would you say you have more of a mindset of a critic than a general audience member?
Probably a critic, to be honest. But I can go into something wanting to just see something really good, and I always do, to be honest.
Because there's always going to be that difference. Like
that would be my dream job, just being a music
one
critic.
reviewer I listened to, he's on the ABC, Jason DeRosso.
Yeah.
He actually did not enjoy Blade Runner.
You didn't enjoy Blade Runner.
I did not enjoy Blade Runner, but he had slightly different reasons.
I thought that the original Blade Runner was a great movie, and I think that the new Blade Runner 2049, was not a masterpiece, but I thought it was a great, really solid time. The only problem was it's sort of a Force Awakens in the way that it sort of retells the original, but it adds some sort of new flair to the punch, And I think the Blade Runner movies, the two of them, for the most part, really well done, really well shot, directed, have amazing scenes, tangible characters, sort of interesting motives for the villains and all that. So I love the Blade Runner series, and I think the new one is great. But that's a good thing about critics. Movies are sort of an endless barrage of just interesting topics, interesting sort of ideologies going around. And the good thing about it is that, as I said, with music even, and with movies, and with TV shows, whatever, everything is subjective, but you can point out when something is well done. Like, hey, that was a really good shot. This is a really good plot that's going on. This plot isn't as interesting. Hey, look, it's a Marvel movie, but it has really good spectacles, fun characters, kind of boring humor at times, whatever. So I think that movies are sort of, you can go in non-biased, but you can point out qualities, which is something like you can't really do to an extent with stuff like music and all that, and movies and all that. So it's a bit weirder, but I would say that definitely that's something that Marvel struggles with, is trying to keep them afloat and diverse the movies from each other, which I guess they've been trying to do with stuff like Black Panther, stuff like Captain America, Civil War, The Winter Soldier, all that kind of crap. But I think it's fine for the most part. They just need to experiment more. And what do I mean by experiment more? People don't really know what I mean by that. I mean, go out of their comfort zone, put something really out of place. Superheroes in a dangerous place. Maybe they lose a bit of their power, like stuff like Thor Ragnarok did. They're experiencing a new challenge, sort of thing. So stuff like that would keep me really fucking engrossed and really interested in the movie that's going on right now.
Make them lose in the end.
Yeah, I'm fine with them doing that. They can win or whatever. I'm fine with that too, because that's what happens at the end of the day. It's just have a consequence, have some sort of character development. None of the Marvel characters have ever had character development besides Iron Man.
Yeah.
But even then, I'd say that it's still a fun romp at the end of the day. It's just not my thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
That's fair enough.
You two really like Marvel movies. I don't even hate Marvel, okay? I know the first episode...
I've started to experience the superhero fatigue since Black Panther.
Yeah, that's my only real complaint. Superhero movies in general, I'm feeling a massive fatigue about. I'm not being as interested. When I see shit put out, like Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad, fucking.
I actually quite enjoyed Suicide Squad.
Ugh, kill
like
yourself.
Suicide Squad.
You should kill yourselves. Remember we
I
came.
don't even like
No.
a lot of the complaints. I don't see where a lot of the complaints
Alright,
come from.
I
Yeah.
can. We can do a whole episode droning on about how shit Suicide Squad, and then
Well, what would you say the biggest gripes of the movie were?
it's really badly shot. It can't decide on what tone it wants to have. I find that the movie has sort of the same color palette as something like fucking Son of Saul, which is a movie about concentration camps, especially when they're setting up like Harley Quinn and Deadshot and all that in that military camp. The plot is boring. The main villain is slightly interesting, but gets ruined by the amount of scenes that she doesn't have. The characters act like a family at the end when they really shouldn't. They haven't had as much time. The characters, they never set up any of the characters well, besides Harley Quinn. And even that,
Well,
they
yeah,
skip.
it is
Even then, they skip over it so fucking fast. Jared Leto's Joker is awful.
Well,
And the thing about Suicide Squad is that I feel like the plot fucking starts like 5 times and gets off to a slightly good pace, and then just has that third act low point. Then the movie just fucking ends after they kill the baddie. Everybody goes back to prison. They tease another fucking DC movie at the end. Hey, Solo, Harley Quinn, and Joker movie. That's shit. It's a trailer. It's not even a trailer. The movie was edited like a fucking trailer. It was edited by a trailer studio. Did you know that? The Suicide Squad was edited on fucking Adobe Premiere by a trailer studio.
Adobe Premiere is like a standard.
No, it's fucking not for actual feature-length Hollywood films, man. So, all right, what do you
Well,
like
do you
about
know-
Suicide?
do
Why
you
don't we
know
flip
what,
the switch?
like,
Why don't we
when-
flip the switch? Tell me what you liked about Suicide Squad.
The soundtrack.
The soundtrack was
Yeah, the
amazing.
soundtrack's fine,
The soundtrack was
but what I
great.
find is that the soundtrack
I
is
will
so.
disagree with you
Colour.
on the color palette.
Color palette was great.
I hate it. It's just kind of like a really bland, sort of black, and a lot of the movie takes place at night. It's sort of black and grey and bland.
It's meant
and
to be
they'll
dark.
It was meant to be dark and grey, but also like
just
when
because
that
it's meant to
opening
be doesn't mean it's good.
and
Okay.
Also with the hint of neon at the
I
start.
hate
it.
Neon at the end.
That was
that
the-
was
Yes.
cool.
That
Yeah,
was
they're
cool.
too obsessed with this like edgy sort of punk rock sort of
Well,
thing
they
where
are,
it's like,
that's what they are. The
hey, look, the color palette's really bland. Let's shove in some neon purple shit everywhere. That
the
just looks
movie
dumb.
is titled Suicide Squad. It's gonna be edgy.
Also, two of the
Yeah.
a lot of the characters are kind of cringe, like Killer Croc, that Captain Boomerang fucker, Jai Courtney, I hate him.
Oh,
He can kill himself.
Great.
No, he's not. And
Captain-
then the man who can climb anything, the stupidest line I've ever heard in cinematic history, and then he
that
just
guy,
dies.
I will say Slipknot was stupid.
Slipknot was pointless in the movie. to be
I
honest.
think they had him in.
Killer Croc was
I
pointless.
think-
Captain Boomerang was pointless.
What do you
Katana was pointless.
Wait, what do you mean Killer
They
Croc
did
was
nothing.
pointless?
What's he do? He swims in the water once, and that's it. He looks stupid as well. He doesn't even look like a crocodile. He looks too realistic and stupid. And I'll tell you this as well, like that stupid witch bitch.
But he was the only one who was able to swim in water.
Yeah, doesn't make it good.
Yeah. Well, no,
And here's the thing.
is-
He's
with,
and then Katana shows up, the most pointless character designed to sell toys, obviously, or some bullshit like that. And she's crap as well. So, don't say, oh, why do you hate Suicide Squad, when I can very clearly sort of justify my whole opinion of it, because I don't like the movie at all. I think it's crap.
Like, I thought most of the characters were fun.
What?
Slipknot was the one terrible character that I felt was.
I thought,
did
like,
not need to
most
be
of the
there.
characters were terrible.
Yeah, he didn't
But
need
at
to be
the
there.
same time, they also had to prove that yes, they're being serious. We will kill you at the flick of a switch.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That Rick Flag, boring. The Enchantress bitch, played by Cara Delevingne or whatever, boring. With a bit of flair thrown in. She's the witch bitch or whatever. She doesn't do anything beyond that.
Enchantress, yeah.
And then that black bitch, played by Viola Davis, Amanda Waller.
Oh, yeah.
She is so bland, and they try and make her seem like a badass. Like, oh, I like her. Well, yeah, nobody fucking agrees
She's
with
a
you.
ruthless killer.
She's a ruthless,
She is.
boring
And,
sack
when
of a
they go to
human.
save
with-
her, oh, cool. Kills
She's,
everyone in the
everyone
office.
in the-
she's very bland character, and she's kind of forced in as a badass, even though she's not at all.
She's
And
not a
she's
badass,
so
she's a
sort of.
ruthless killer.
She's not a ruthless killer. She's just a bitch.
Did you not see the scene in which they finally rescue her? She mows down an office.
Yeah,
filled
that
with
that
people.
scene made
Yeah.
no sense, had no pacing, no start, no finish. It just came out of nowhere and completely betrayed everything that Rick Flag character stood for, because he just stood there. What the fuck is
Well,
this movie?
He's a soldier. He follows orders.
Yeah, he's a
That's it,
soldier
yeah,
and he
yeah.
follows orders, and he's boring. Suicide Squad is not a good movie. It's a terrible piece of cinema, and I hate it. Do you remember I came out of the cinema and I was like, yeah, that sucked, and you guys were like, oh, I thought it was alright. I rewatched it, especially a few months after. I'm like, wait, this is worse than when I saw it. But yeah, I mean, this is the whole superhero fatigue. Maybe that's what played into my hatred of Suicide Squad, my hatred of stuff like Black Panther and all that. But
I mean, the general consensus on when Suicide Squad came out, it wasn't that it was quite disliked. But at the same
No. The opinions of others don't impact
don't
mine.
impact, yeah.
But when it's something like you can point out what's bad about a movie, that whether it be terrible characters, terrible plot, terrible sort of cinematography in general, I can look at that stuff and be like, hey, yeah, I agree. I saw that in the movie. And like, maybe I actually disagree and I like this thing. Like the neon shit that's everywhere. It wasn't too distracting, didn't happen often, and I felt that was fine. It just came out of nowhere and it seems kind of out of place.
There should have been more neon moments in it.
Yeah,
though,
there
because
should
there
have.
should have been way more of it, because like it's supposed to be dark and edgy, but at the same time they're childish.
I'm gonna bring up.
They
Yeah,
could have
that's
just
true,
gone,
yeah.
"Wah!"
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna link you Ralph the Movie Maker's video on Suicide Squad, and I'm gonna see if you maybe agree, if you disagree, because I think it's a really well-made video, and he brings up solid criticisms with that piece of shit movie and everything. Like, don't get mad at me because I disliked the movie. I get that it's terrible, you guys liked it, whatever, and I'm not bothered by that. I'm just pointing out why I dislike it, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy.
I mean, that's fair enough.
I'd say it's very fair enough, actually, but yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for episode 13 of the Coinflip podcast. We had a great time today, and
I'm pretty sure it's 14 though.
It's 13.
It's that-
See yous.
Oh, okay.